Hello, here's the news at this hour from Tstv. I'm Kende Duritilu. Here's some major headlines. NULGE election. Aspirants petition Oyo head of service. Call for administrative probe. Federal government puts presidential aircraft up for sale. ECOWAS likely to decide on lifting Mali sanctions Friday. In sports, Barcelona legend SUAREZ joins ATLETICO Madrid for €6 million. Now the details. Some aspirants have called on the Oyo State government not to recognize the newly elected executive of the National Union of Local Government Employees. This was conveyed in a petition to the office of the head of service in the state, which was copied to various government agencies. Recall that the NULGE election was held in the midnight of September 21st at the NUJ Press Center. This was in disregard to an injunction by the National Industrial Court in Lagos that the election and Congress must not be held pending the conclusion of a case brought before the court regarding the legal disqualification of some candidates. In the petition, which was signed by Mr. Dauda Suleiman and Abiodun Weidokun, they explained that despite the court injunction, the association's executive insisted that the election would be held on September 22nd at Liberty Stadium. However, the election did not hold. Oyo State government has announced the arrest of a man in Oyo Township for defrauding unsuspecting applicants into the recruitment of Oyo State Security Network, codenamed AMOTECO. The middle-aged man, Adiemi Agbola, who owned a cyber cafe along Doba Stadium Road, was caught yesterday with 11 fake recruitment forms, which he was reportedly selling to mostly unlettered applicants at 500 naira per copy, with the promise of assisting the victims to get the job. The cyber cafe operator claimed that he only utilized the opportunity to extort the victims, but one of his victims, who was a semi-illiterate and would not want his name in print, said he was not aware of the difference in the two forms until he was caught with it at the screening venue. However, the commandant of the AMOTECO operations, Colonel Olayanju Olayinka, retired, said the culprit would face the law if his action, as he has been handed over to the appropriate prosecuting agency, urging the members of the public to be wary of individuals that would always want to take advantage of others in the society because the victims were educationally deficient. The National Social Workers Oyo State Chapter, in collaboration with the security agency, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has today rounded up about 20 street beggars, popularly called Amajiri, at Dubai, Ibadan, the state capital. The development followed the constant reports that these beggars are causing menace in the area and the city at large. It was reported that there seems to be jubilations as residents and motorists hail the government of Oyo State and the National Social Workers for coming to clean up the vicinity.
So èèyàn máa ń wá iṣẹ́ tí ó bá kọ́ ni, ó lọ kàwé, ó lọ kéwú, ó lọ kọ́ṣẹ́, kì í ṣe pé bóyá ó wà sọ pé iṣẹ́ báárà ní nǹkan tá a gba ọ́fíìsì fún. Àwọn àmà ni ẹ máa kọ́ ọmọ yìí náà bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe báárà o, àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wọn wà máa sùn àwọn èèyàn lásán fún. Ó jẹ́ nìkan tí ìwọ̀n bá ti bá ní, mo máa ń ṣe ìtọ́rẹ àánú fáwọn èèyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti kan àwọn ọmọ, wọn ò bá àfàmì lásán, wọ́n yà àfàmì lásán yá ní ìlú fún wọn. Torí pé nǹkan kan wọ́n ń bà wọ́n láyé jẹ́. Àmọ̀ràn tí mo rí fún ìjọba lórí ẹ̀ ni wípé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ìwọ̀ yìí kán kó wọn lọ síbi tí wọ́n ti kọ́ wọn ní ẹ̀kọ́ tí wọ́n fi ráyè wọn sí ní rọrùn. Àmọ̀ràn mi fún ìjọba ni ọlọ́run ràn ìjọba lọ́wọ́.
One of the aircrafts in the presidential fleet, Hawker 4000, has been announced to have been advertised for sale. It was reported that the federal government yesterday announced the plan to have the aircraft sold out to ready buyers. The aircraft, which is one of the 10 in the fleet, as at the time President Muhammadu Buhari took over office in 2015, according to available details on the brand, was purchased in 2011 at around $22.91 million. The aircraft, with capacity for 9 passengers, is said to be the third that will be going out on sale, since Buhari ordered the fleet be depleted through sales, citing austerity as reason. It was further reported that interested buyers should submit their closed bids to the Chairman Committee of Sale of Aircraft Office of the National Security Advisor, Care of Special Services Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the federal government are reported to be working hard towards ensuring safe school reopening, considering the importance of health to societal development. Mrs. Azuka Menkiti, education specialist, UNICEF Abuja, made this known yesterday while speaking with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, during the Zonal Stakeholders Dialogue School Reopening Readiness in Akwanga, Nasarawa State. Menkiti said that UNICEF has developed a template to ensure safe school resumption, while soliciting for traditional rulers and relevant stakeholder support in ensuring that the environment is safe for students and teachers. However, NAN reported that the Zonal Stakeholders Dialogue School Reopening Readiness was organized by the federal government in collaboration with UNICEF. On the foreign scene, West African leaders have heaped pressure on the ruling military junta to return power to civilians since the coup toppled President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta on August 18. The West African bloc ECOWAS will likely decide on Friday whether to lift potentially crippling sanctions imposed on Mali after last month's coup. The mediator, Nigerian former President Goodluck Jonathan, called on the 15-nation bloc's sanctions unfortunate during a visit to Mali's capital, Bamako, yesterday. ECOWAS has used these sanctions, which include closing borders and restricting trade, as leverage in negotiations with the junta. Sticking points in those negotiations have included whether civilians or soldiers will run a transition government until fresh elections. The junta asked for the sanctions to be lifted this week after former Defense Minister Ba Ndor was named interim president, tasked with governing for at most 18 months before holding polls. Meanwhile, the governor of the U.S. state of Missouri, who opposes mask mandates, has tested positive for coronavirus. Republican Mike Parson received his result yesterday, hours after his wife tested positive. Although the governor has previously recommended people wear masks and socially distance, he has rejected calls to introduce state rules requiring people to wear face coverings. Meanwhile, on Sunday, Parson posted photos of himself at a re-election event in the state alongside 4 other men. While they appeared to stand at a distance, none of them wore a mask. More than 1,900 people are confirmed to have died with coronavirus in Missouri, which has seen around 1.2 million reported infections, according to Johns Hopkins University. And in sports, Barcelona has confirmed that Luis Suarez has joined Atletico Madrid after the 2 Spanish sides came to terms on a deal for the Uruguayan star. It was reported that Atleti will pay Barca €6 million to acquire the striker, who departs Camp Nou after 6 seasons with the club. However, Suarez had been heavily linked with Juventus in recent weeks, as the Italian champions have been in the hunt for a striker, but the Bianconeri moved on to other targets after Suarez was forced to go through a lengthy process of acquiring Italian citizenship. FC Barcelona and Atletico Madrid is said to have reached an agreement for the transfer of the player, Luis Suarez. Sudan beat host Chad 3-2 yesterday in the first international in Africa since last November, with the coronavirus forcing the suspension of virtually all football in the continent soon after. It was reported that Hassan Youssef scored after 83 and 85 minutes to earn former African champion Sudan victory after they trailed 2-1 at half-time. Mohamed Abdul Ramadan had given the visitors the lead 10 minutes into the first half by converting a penalty in 33 degrees Celsius heat. Karim Mohammed leveled midway through the opening half, and Bashir Said puts Chad ahead on 39 minutes in an international staged behind closed doors due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, the countries will play a second friendly match in Chadian capital in N'Djamena this Friday as they prepare for the resumption of 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying during November. With that, we've come to the end of the news. A recap of the headlines. NULGE election, aspirants petition Oyo head of service, call for administrative probe. Federal government puts presidential aircraft up for sale. ECOWAS likely to decide on lifting MADRID sanctions Friday. And in sports, Barcelona legend SUAREZ joins ATLETICO Madrid for €6 million. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Mobola Badikale. I'm Kende Durutilu. Thanks for watching.